she decided to go up and do her own thing, which, you know, and her podcast ended.
What's her own thing?
Yeah.
What was her own thing?
Correct.
She created something and walked away from it.
Right.
And yes, I get it. Everybody cheats on everybody, I guess. And that was the storyline from the very beginning. But what she did is a betrayal.
Correct.
That a lot of people don't end up having to suffer through. Because when you're friends with Scheana, she makes you a bridesmaid or a maid of honor over at your wedding. They came into the boutique multiple times. And I told this to Scheana on our podcast, Undressed.
She was a bridesmaid, not a maid of honor.
She was a maid of honor. She was one of the main ones.
Sure.
I told Scheana, I said, I didn't have the heart to break yours when you were going through, when I was making her gown and they were coming to the store, to the boutique. Raquel showed up multiple times. And I told Scheana, I said, I didn't have the heart to tell you that she was not interested.
Right.
It was not in the idea and the space, the headspace of wanting to be there for you. And I didn't want to ruin and pop your bubble and go, oh my God, like your maid of honor is so disinterested in you, so disinterested in what your excitement and love is for the journey that you're on. I didn't have the heart to break it to her. She goes, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah.
Because if you go back and listen to the podcast, on our podcast, you'd see that she said, Paul, I'm so glad you didn't, because had you told me this, I would have probably sided with her and our friendship would have fractured, because I care about Scheana. I love Scheana. We've known her for many, many, many years from the very beginning. When she was before she started Vanderpump, she was a hostess at Villa Blanca up the street from my boutique.
Yeah.
So we used to go there regularly because we knew Lisa, and we used to go up there regularly, and she used to wait on us. So the friendship was organically real before she started the show.
But here's the thing, from a viewer standpoint and people that got so invested and watched this show, you can't be a main player on television, whether reality, scripted, whatever it is, throw a bunch of grenades in a room and then walk off and then never have an ending or never have a resolution for the people that have invested 10 years of their lives watching you. It wasn't fair to them. It really wasn't fair to them. And it was a very stupidly unbold move for her not to return to the show.
I mean, besides the fact that there were no more dicks to suck, she sucked everybody's dick off.
She would have found more dick. I'm sure, though.
Do you think the cast is upset that she left? Because I thought it would have been a great show if she came back. I kind of agree.
I think it would have been not just so much a great show, but it would have been a way for all of them to find the balance in what they lost in the friendship group that she severed. And I think that's what they would have at least been able to find their way back to a space of, it's like any friend group. You want to be able to, okay, so they made a mistake. You recognize the mistake, but how do you resolve it within yourself to be able to know that I can come back to you and say, you know what, maybe I don't want to be friends with you in the same way that I was.
Right.
But I understand what you went through. Maybe I can be there for you. Maybe it could have happened to me. Any one of us could have been in that.
But David, you can't have an ensemble cast, because they are an ensemble cast, technically, that doesn't want to film with this one, doesn't want to talk to that one.
That's the problem.
You can't put a show. How do you put a show together and you have so many fractured relationships, and the person who started all of those fractures is gone and just watching on the sidelines? And so none of the cast could really resolve those situations and feelings on camera for the audience to watch.
But ultimately, here's the truth. She wasn't invested. Raquel was not invested in any of those people.
When she was in your store, what? She just, like you were saying, let's try on Scheana's dresses, and she was like staring at the whole time.
Probably texting Tom.
She was disinterested. She wasn't supporting her. She wasn't there to be with her. She wasn't engaged with her. She wasn't helping her. She did nothing. She sat there and she's like, okay, I'm here and whatever. And she was very disinterested. But ultimately, you realize that she was never an organic and true friend to any one of these people, because she didn't come back for the money. She should have come back for the friendships. not just for the
she
money.
didn't have any of those, and I think that she took.
But she didn't even care about it.
I would have come back for the money.
Of course.
No, but she didn't. But they gave her as much money as they needed to, and she said no. She wanted more. So then she thought that she should come back for the money, and that's the only reason why she should come back. But when you're on a show, when you're in an organic, journey with a bunch of other people, what you consider co-hosts that you're friends with, that supposedly you're real friends with, wouldn't you just come back and be able to be present? Because that wasn't your job when you started. That was the friendship group you started with. And that should be somewhere that no money should cross boundaries for. And it's a sacred space that you should know to keep so close to your heart.
Again, if they're not organically interacting with each other anymore, then there is no show.
Yeah.
But do you
think
she
chose the money over the friendship?
But do you think the reboot is actually gonna go?
Well, look, they're filming it now.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like,
are you on it? Are you one of the cast?
It's so funny. I'm not on it, but someone texted me the day this was announced, and they said, "Oh my God, can you get me in?" So, first of all, we have a lot of problems with this text here. First of all, I do not have Alex Baskin on my speed dial. I have not talked to Lisa Vanderpump today. I haven't talked to Lisa Shannon at Bravo. So no, I can't get you in. Also, you don't work at SUR. You're also probably 10 years too old. So I'm like, I didn't tell this person all of this, but I said to myself, how the fuck am I supposed to help you? But thank you for the vote of confidence. But I really got a text from someone that said, "Oh my God, this is for me. I want in."
But also when you say that too, it's very interesting because when you say about their ages, a lot of the cast technically aged out because they're not connected to Lisa. They're not working at SUR. They're not starting their careers and building their careers. They're buying $1 million homes and buying brand new Mercedes and buying Porsche and cars and things like that.
They should. They deserve it.
I get it. But what I think the mistake was from the producer's standpoint, they should have revamped the show if they were going to keep that original OG cast to follow those journeries. And then they didn't need.
We have that show. It's called The Valley. It's just
exactly.
It's just
so
with a bunch of different people.
Well, I don't know. Everybody that was fired from Vanderpump is now on The Valley.
Only a few of them. Scheana.
Yeah, and then they're no.
But I don't think they're on there. Yeah, like Tom, Scheana, and Lala. But I don't think they're on there. I think they filmed. They'll be in scenes. I don't think they're like cast members.
No, I don't think they are. I really
because
don't.
even Deadline printed this the day after to say these people are going to the Valley. I'm like, I don't think that's exactly accurate. Like, they're not a starring role. Like, Scheana does not have a salary from the Valley.
We were asked to be on. I won't tell you which show we were be on, but I didn't want to break up my relationship with my